Can a sauce really change your life? And if it doesn't, do I give you your money back to you? Well, yes I will, but you don't give me money for making these shows, so I've got no money to give back. However, if you want to give me money for making these shows, please feel free to. Adults only, of course. I don't want any money from children. Yes, the pineapple. Some of you probably noticed it. I am growing a pineapple. My dear friend Mark said in my last cookery show, where the pineapple was on display, that he was more fascinated by the pineapple and watched that more than he watched me, which I think is very, very rude. Thank you, Mark. But anyway, yes, I am growing a pineapple. I'll let you know if eventually it grows big enough to taste, and we'll see how it is. This sauce, learn to cook it properly, adapt it, and you can use it for so many recipes, whether it be pasta, whether it be the base of a bolognese, it could be the base of a pizza, it could go on chicken, it can go on fish, it can go on other meats, it can go on vegetables, it can be the basis for curries, you name it, you can use this sauce as your basic sauce to start with. When you go to shops to buy your prepared tomatoes that you're going to add to your sauces, they tend to come in 3 different types. Most prepared is passata, which is slightly blanched, cooked, skins removed, and then sieved to remove the seeds. This is useful as a shortcut for some cooking, but I tend not to use this that often. You could use this in a sauce if you want to. The most common way people use tomatoes for cooking is chopped tin tomatoes, which is good, but the other is plum tomatoes, whole plum tomatoes, which people tend to avoid, I think, sometimes, because they're quite obviously they need to break down. However, is one better than the other? Yes. The plum tomatoes are definitely better than chopped tomatoes because the plum tomatoes are the best quality tomatoes used. The chopped tomatoes tend to be the ones that aren't quite so good to be used as the whole tomatoes, and so you're not getting some quite good tomatoes. But I think plum tomatoes are better, and that is what I'm going to use as a base of sauce today. The only thing you need for this sauce, right, other than a few ingredients, is time. If you've got an hour to let this sauce bubble away very gently, you'll be rewarded with an amazing, amazing flavour. But your basic ingredients are tin of tomatoes, garlic, a little bit of oil to saute the garlic in, a stock cube. That's it. Add a bit of olive oil. If you're not making Italian style sauce, I'd use sunflower oil rather than the olive oil. We add the garlic. Now you won't wonder why I put it into cold oil to start with as it's starting to heat up. That's because if you put it in hot oil, there is a risk with garlic that you can burn it, and once garlic's burnt, you're going to have to start again because it's not a nice flavour. So I just start it in the cold olive oil or sunflower oil, depending on what you're using, and then just you can hear it begin to sizzle now. When it starts sizzling, turn down the heat a bit. And there's one other ingredient I forgot to mention. I always like to add bay leaves. If you've got a couple of bay leaves in the garden, put them in, or if you've got them dried or whatever, that's fine. But I do think that helps as well, the flavour. Right. So once you've sauteed the garlic, once it starts sizzling for about 30 seconds to a minute more, right, then, so I said I'd use a stock pot or a stock cube. In this case I'm going to use a chicken stock cube. I drop that in and I start breaking it down and mixing it in. I don't dissolve it first. So you're forming a garlic, you probably see that, garlic and stock paste. And then I'm going to add a little splash of water. Not a lot of water, it's probably about maybe 100 mils, if that. If you're using spices because you're making a curry, add them before you add the liquid. So fry them off a little bit once the garlic's cooked and the stocks and before the stock cube goes in. So I can hear it bubbling. In goes the tomatoes. Now, what we want to start doing is just breaking it down with a spoon. Careful it doesn't splash over the side. Also, once it starts bubbling, turn the heat down because then there's a risk it could splash. I've been burnt many a time by angry tomato cooking away. Tomatoes, when they cook in pans, can sometimes go like molten lava, I've noticed. Not that I've ever put my fingers in molten lava, but you know what I mean. So I now want to turn it right down to a really low setting. I set this to the lowest setting I've got, and that's it. We're just going to let that cook away quite happily for an hour. After an hour, it's cooked down into a lovely deep red sauce. Just going to taste it now. A bit hot. Oh, it's lovely. It's rich, deep tomato flavour. Doesn't need any more salt or pepper. It does need a little bit more sweetness. The reason is different tins of tomatoes will have a different sweetness. It will depend on the tomatoes that have been put in. This one needs a little bit more. So I'm going to add a spoonful of sugar. Half a teaspoon should be enough. Doesn't matter what sort of sugar you use. Give it a good mix, then taste again. Just using a bit of Demerara sugar. You can use caster sugar granulated, doesn't matter. Bit of guesswork. That's it. Perfect. A little bit of sweetness just to finish the sauce off. And now I can use that for pasta, I can use it for pizza, I can use it for anything I like. Put on chicken, on fish. As I say, if you, instead of the herbs, you use spices. It's the basis of a curry. You could add cream, yogurt to it. Absolutely delicious. It's so easy. Tells you, sauce change your life. Right then, let's comment on a few of your comments. And I have to say, some of your comments are very, very nice. Quite flattering actually. I have to keep my feet on the ground with some of them. For Readem 555, this video is amazing. 10 out of 10 for comedy. 10 out of 10 for editing. 10 out of 10 for information. 10 out of 10 for the host, that's me everyone. 10 out of 10 for the topic. Thank you for sharing such an amazing video. I'm honoured. Oh, no, I'm honoured. For Readem 555. Thank you so much. And then we have Joyce, ID3DR. Joyce comments a number of times. Thank you, Joyce, and welcome. Hello from across the pond. She means America, everybody. That's what we mean by the pond. The big ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, is known as a pond. It's a bit of a nickname, not the pond at the bottom of the garden. Thank you. You, my dear, are so funny. And I might add, you make learning look fun. Oh, thank you, Joyce. Wish I'd had a teacher like you when I was at school. To add to that, you're a great cook. Thanks. Now, don't let these compliments go to your head. Oh, no, I won't, Joyce. Thank you so much. They won't go to my head. I truly am amazing. Thanks. Oh, yes, I did have a comment for a post this week. It's a letter. A letter from the lawyers and Mr. KSI. The letter reads, Dear Mr. Stokes, our client, Mr. KSI, wishes you to cease in ripping off his bottles of the excellent drink Prime by sticking on your own grubby label and pretending it's yours. If you do not desist, we will have no choice but to take you to court, or, Mr. KSI said, him and his friend Logan would happily meet you and any other friend you choose in a boxing ring. Winner takes all. Well, Mr. KSI and your friend Logan, whoever he may be, my friend Mr. Beast and I will happily meet you in a boxing ring and we'll sort this out. There is no way that my beautiful, not grubby, bottle of healthy, lovely drink is mine and mine alone. Not your Prime stuff. Look at that. Found that in a local shop. Ridiculous amount of money. Managed to get this for £2.50. In another shop next door, £7. £7 for a bottle of tropical punch, which tasted like tropical pure. Oh no, I can't say that. It'd be too disgusting. But you get my drift. This is a drink of pure pleasure. We'll see you in the boxing ring. Have a good week, everybody.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening, but they fought